Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Friday, June 17th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives and old St. Louis television history and stuff like that on the Wayback Machine and other places. And then we have all of our eye candy features located for you right below what you're looking at. And of course, speaking sexually with Dr. Kathy Naughton, sex stories from around the world. Check it all out here at jcontheline.com. So the Wienermobile pulled to the curb, and that's it now. The last time I saw a wiener fall so quickly was when I looked at a picture of Van Keef in a swimsuit. Ayman al-Zawahiri, or whatever his name is, has officially been named to head Al-Qaeda. He needs that job like he needs a hole in the head. Little known fact, this Sunday, Father's Day, Flava Flav will get just over 6,000 Father's Day cards. All right, I don't know about you. If you're not concerned about the play of our beloved St. Louis Cardinals, you ought to be. It's not that they're losing, folks. Every team loses, and you get losing streaks. It's the way they're losing, and you cannot blame all of this on injuries. This team is in a lot of trouble right now. And again, the history of this team the last couple of years has been we beat up on the bad teams like Pittsburgh. We get our asses handed to us by the good teams. Sometimes we make it to the playoffs. If we do, we're bounced out in the first round because we can't hit, and the rest of the time we don't make the playoffs. This, to me, is not necessarily a successful way of doing things. But go ahead, try to have that argument with the 3 million people a year who show up at Busch Stadium looking for a good time. Speaking of which, I'm going to tell you something right now that will, in all likelihood, shake you up. Tomorrow, Saturday, is the ninth anniversary of the death of Jack Buck. Jack Buck died 9 years ago. That's how fast time is moving. Apple. I love Apple. I have all Apple stuff. I have Apple computers, iPods, iPhone, the works. Every once in a while they do stuff where I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I don't know, sometimes it's Apple and sometimes it's the copyright people and the lawyers that just seem to get out of control a little bit. Sometimes you go to a concert and you take out your iPhone and you just start shooting video or something. Or you go to a sporting event, you go to a Cardinal game this weekend. And it was fun to take some video and stuff like that. Apple is considering having infrared sensors inside sporting events, venues, and concert venues that would disable the camera on your phone. So, God, some lawyer working overtime somewhere. Also, one more point about baseball here. That Charlie Rose show, which normally airs at 11:30 on Channel 9 here in St. Louis. And they got Bob Costas, Tim McCarver, and George Vesey from the New York Times, who wrote this amazing book about Stan Musial. And, of course, tremendous interest locally here in this subject. And on Monday night, the show ran at 1:30 in the morning because they had pledge drives going on. Well, Channel 9, maybe because they get tired of hearing me talking about it, I don't know. But anyhow, they're going to rerun that show, Charlie Rose, Monday afternoon at 1:30 and again at 11:30 Monday night. So maybe that's a little easier for you to see in case you did not have the presence of mind to record it on your DVR. So again, that's going to run again this Monday, 1:30 in the afternoon and 11:30. And I saw the show Monday when it aired at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's excellent. It's just great stuff, and you got to see it. So if you're a fan of baseball at all, check that out. This was a very important day in history back in 1972. That's when Richard Nixon's downfall began, when the 5 plumbers, quote-unquote plumbers, were arrested for breaking into the Democratic National Headquarters in the Watergate Hotel. And as politicians have apparently not learned in that long span of time, it's not the crime that gets you in trouble, it's the cover-up. That was the story with Dick Nixon, and it just continues to be the story today, and they just don't seem to get it. Also, it's funny because everybody remembers where they were on this date in 1994. Everybody remembers where they were. We were just talking about Bob Costas, and he was doing an NBA Finals game, and in the corner of the screen, they had the video of OJ's low-speed car chase. This was the date back in 1994 when Al Cowlings, whose birthday was yesterday, by the way, Al Cowlings gets in the car and they start driving. OJ's got $10,000 cash, a fake beard and mustache and a passport. Where the hell was he going? Yeah, he was going to go visit the grave of Nicole. That's right. There were two jokes that came out of this whole thing, and one of them was, what does the city of Denver and O.J. Simpson have in common? They both have a slow white Bronco, reference to John Elway. And the other thing that was so funny was there was a car dealer in Southern California, and they took a white Ford Bronco and put it on a riser up in front of the dealership, up on a riser so that everybody could see it out in front of the dealership, and they had a sign over the top that said, "As seen on TV." Now, that's pretty funny stuff. Now, I tell you where I was. I wasn't watching it. I didn't see any of it because I was emceeing a black tie event. I was at a Tux at the Ritz-Carlton doing a fundraiser for cystic fibrosis. And so I was running out to the bar periodically to try to get updates on what was going on, and then going back into the banquet room where periodically I would say, okay, here's what's going on. And then people were running out of the place to try to get a look at a picture. The guy at the bar at the Ritz-Carlton, just around the corner from the banquet room, had just like a tiny little TV up in the corner, and people were trying to watch what was going on. I missed basically the whole thing, but that was on this date in 1994. All right, New York Daily News has put together a photo. Oh, by the way, one more thing on OJ rather. Oprah says that she has a dream of doing a TV show where OJ would confess the entire thing to her. Good luck on that. I don't think okay. New York Daily News has put together a list of a photo gallery of beach bodies we never want to see. On that list, Newt Gingrich, Kesha, boy, that's a really unattractive woman. Jack Nicholson, big old beer belly, but has he earned the right? Maybe. Courtney Love, Mickey Rourke, Tara Reid, Ice-T. Courtney Love is on the list twice, and for good reason. Sacha Baron Cohen and his Mankini, and also Snooki. You know, when that movie came out, they sent radio and television people a little box, and you open it up, and it was that goofy, like Dago-colored Mankini. And if you saw the movie Borat, you know what I'm talking about. And I still have that thing upstairs, and just for grins, once every 2 or 3 years, I will take that thing out, put it on, just to crack up my wife. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have told you that. Green Lantern hits theaters today. I was joked on the Green Lantern. Forbes.com has put together its annual list of the world's highest paid musicians. Rihanna at number 25, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at number 16, Dave Matthews at 10, Justin Bieber 9, Eagles at number 8, Black Eyed Peas, Paul McCartney at 6, Michael Bublé, $70 million at number 5, Lady Gaga, $90 million at number 4, Elton John, $100 million 3, Bon Jovi, $125 million second place, and number 1, they're coming to town this summer, $195 million for U2. But they've had all that embarrassment of that Spider-Man Broadway thing. That thing has been a wreck, and even they're trashing the reviews. Have been terrible for the show, and they've even beaten up on the music. And those guys did one of the songs on some award show a couple of weeks ago, or a month or two ago, and I remember looking over at Triple C and going, that song's terrible. And that's U2, and even that whole project, that Spider-Man thing, has just got. I was going to say it was snake bit, but I'm crossing my species here. New survey revealed the top 15 foods in the United States. Here they are in order. Pizza at number 1, followed by steak, chicken, Mexican, pasta, Italian, seafood, burgers, ice cream, sushi, chocolate, Chinese, tacos, salad, and spaghetti. Worldwide, the 3 most popular foods are pasta, meat, and rice. The results from some of the other countries are sort of amusing too. In Mexico, Mexican food is the most popular, but who would have guessed that Chinese food is in second place in Mexico? A woman in Kansas says she's found God in her varicose veins. That's right. She recently noticed a few of her veins spelled out God. She thinks God's talking to her. In Florida, they always talk about the stupid criminals. Maybe not. In Florida, a man tried to rob a Family Dollar store. The cashier said, "I can't open the cash register unless you buy something." So he bought some gum, paid $1. She opened the drawer. He stole all the cash, including the $1 that he paid for the gum. He took off, and they're still looking for him. All right, birthday this weekend. Paul McCartney is listed here as the lead singer of Wings. The guy's a comedian. 69 tomorrow, Mia Sara. That name may mean nothing to you, but if I told you that she was Ferris Bueller's girlfriend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, now you know who I'm talking about. She did that movie. She disappeared for like 10 years, did a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie that went nowhere, and other than that, for all intents and purposes, disappeared. What is up with that? She's 44 on Sunday. Also, Ann Wilson of Heart, she's the rotund one who's not married to Cameron Crowe, although either is Nancy anymore. Ann Wilson is 61. All right, Father's Day is this weekend, first celebrated over 100 years ago in 1909 by a woman in Spokane, Washington, who was raised by a single father. She decided she wanted to pay tribute to him, and the cards are just crazy. 50% of all Father's Day cards are bought by children, 15% from wives, the other 35% come from stepchildren, grandchildren, parents, siblings, nieces, and nephews. Lost my dad about 3.5 years ago. Still think about him almost every day. If you're lucky enough to have a good relationship with your dad and he's still alive, man, go get him this weekend, because one day you're going to look and he's going to be gone, and that's going to be that. All right, I just want to pay a little special recognition to a new sponsor, the Big 550 KTRS. You know, Trish and I, Trish Gazelle, we moved to the noon to 3 slot this past Monday, and it really seems to have made a huge difference. We're hearing from all sorts of people who were not able to hear the show before and are able to listen to it now. That was the point, and we want to welcome a new sponsor, and these are my friends at Lawn Care Equipment. You know, they don't have some fancy name. They are exactly what their name says they are, Lawn Care Equipment on Manchester, just east of Brentwood Boulevard. They have a location in DeSoto also. I bought, listen to this, over the course of the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, I bought a riding mower, a push mower, a weed whacker, 2 leaf blowers, including one of those ones where you have the backpack, and that thing will blow a tree over. And they've also serviced my snow blower. And it's sort of a funny story. Remember back in January, the blizzard that never happened? We were told this could be the blizzard of the century, and of course we got a couple of inches, and that was that. Well, a lot of people were very, very scared, because the weather guys and the news people and everybody who was sort of watching this thing seemed to indicate that we might lose our power, and we might lose our power for a period of days, or who knows, even weeks. And so there was this clamoring for generators, but all the generators were sold out. Well, my friends at Lawn Care Equipment said, you know what, we've got 19 generators here. I mentioned that on the air. They sold them all in one day. The next day, late in the afternoon, they said, we're going to get a shipment, and we're going to get like another 30 of these generators. These things are like, $800, $900. These good ones, Briggs & Stratton engines in them and everything. And I mentioned that on the air. Long story made short, in 2.5 days, Lawn Care Equipment sold 46 generators. And the only place that anybody knew anything about it was from listening to me talk about it on the Big 550 KTRS. They didn't buy any commercials, they just mentioned it because they were friends of mine. Well, Lawn Care Equipment now joining us on the Big 550 KTRS as a sponsor, and they got a great Father's Day thing going on this weekend. Perfect gift for Dad. Steel chainsaws starting at $180. Steel trimmers, $159. The staff fully assembles all the equipment. You go to those big box stores, because there's like a perception that you get a better price if you go to the big box stores. That's a fallacy. And you got a problem, or you need instructions on something, or how to do something, or how do you start it, or what happens with this, you're on your own. Do you know the big box stores, they send their people with questions over to Lawn Care Equipment? It's hilarious. You got to check these people out. Like I said, they got great specials for Father's Day. Lawn Care Equipment on Manchester, just east of Brentwood Boulevard. They have a location in DeSoto. Lawn Care Equipment, 961-5700 online. Lawn Care Equipment, CO.com. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Friday, June 17th, Father's Day weekend. We'll talk to you again Monday here at jcontheline.com. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.